Blessings and peace, beloved. I just want to share with you a few more tips and pointers as how you can boost your immunity naturally through God's given means in nature. And one of the means that we often take for granted, and I'm going to mention too, is pure air and sunlight. And the Bible is emphatic when it states, is explicit when it states that God breathed into man the breath of life, and man became a living soul. And so we understand that we need air in which to breathe. And so we can go a period of time without food, we can go a period of time without water and still survive. But beloved, once you hit that 3 to 4 minute mark without oxygen, you find your soul in trouble. You not just your body, you find your soul in trouble, and so you will die. So you can go less. The time period of going without air is significantly less than going without the other necessary elements that preserve life in the form of food and in the form of water. And so we must not take for granted the air that we breathe, and you must ensure that the air quality that you breathe on a daily basis is of a clean quality, and especially the air quality in your home. Many of us have the habit of living in our home, and our homes do not have within them a free flow of air. Those windows was placed upon your house to let two things in, light and air. And I know you may be afraid of the robbers that might break through and steal, but you must form a habit inside of your home of allowing a natural flow of air, because a natural flow of air takes away the waste currents, the waste matter that may be suspended in the air through the flowing of the current of air inside and outside. So you need to pick a time, as long as you are physically able to do it, to allow the air in the home to be purified and sanitized by a fresh flow, a fresh current of air. And to do this when the sun is at its hottest would be of extreme and great benefit to you. But it must be done nonetheless. So you must throw open the windows so that the stagnant air that is existing in the home, it can be removed, and so that the scents that are emanating from the garbage, the scents that are emanating from the furniture, the scents that are emanated from the synthetic things that we tend to have in our home, that the stagnant air that is full of these harmful scents, it would be removed. And we must understand, beloved, if you have a dead dog on the street and you smell that death, when you are smelling death, what you are doing, you're breathing in the finer particles, the finer molecules that have been suspending in the air of that dead thing. So you're breathing in death. And so when you understand that when you have the garbage in your home exposed and you are smelling the garbage, you are breathing in rotting waste, you're breathing in rotting matter. And breathing in rotting waste, rotting matter, breathing in death, it depresses the immunity. If you spray too much cologne, if you spray too much chemicals and they are suspended in the air, it can go to immediately depress your immune system. Pure air keeps your immune system functioning, it keeps your lungs functioning, because you are breathing in purity. But when there's too much different things suspending in the air inside of your home and you're breathing them in, it depresses your immune system. And this is why some of you go home to your house and immediately as you walk through the door, you feel depressed, you feel heavy. The air also is a problem, the air also is a factor, and these are the things that we must take consideration of, especially when you're purchasing certain items from the store and you're bringing them into your home. You know, sometimes, beloved, you should allow these, you should unbox them, and if they are large items, you should allow them to sun out and air out before you bring them into your home, because the scents that are trapped within them, especially if they are synthetic things, they come along with scents, and these things can depress your immunity, beloved. So these things we ought not to take for granted. So pay very close attention to not only the air supply, the air circulation, the quality of air in your home, but pay very close attention to the things that you bring in your home, because the scents of these things can go to make you sick, because we are not just smelling it in an ambiguous way. When we smell something, we are breathing in part of that thing itself, and that thing can go to preserve or deteriorate your health. And so it is important. And then we must look at the way we breathe. And many of us are shallow breathers. We are surface breathers. We do not breathe deep. And so it would do us well. And this is why sometimes anytime our activity level is increased and we have to do more physical exertion than we were doing before, we have a sticking pain in our sides, beloved. And so this sticking pain is indicative of the fact that you are not using the lower regions of your lungs. Your lungs have not been challenged. And beloved, you must challenge your lungs. And especially in the case of the coronavirus epidemic, the lungs are being filled with mucus. And so there are a few ways you can literally breathe deeply and get rid of mucus and fluid from off of your lungs. And so you must challenge your lungs. Once you are accustomed to challenge your lungs by deep breathing, the immune system's response in the wide surface area of your lungs is going to be more complete. Breathe deeply, beloved. Do not breathe shallow. And this is where you must pay attention to the animals, cats and dogs. When it comes to the day, the breaking of the day, they go and they relax. They chill out in the warmth of the morning sun every day. Cats and dogs and chickens and birds and insects and animals, they do this. But it is man, we hide from the sun, and the warmth of the morning sun is of tremendous benefit to you. So you must practice basking in the glory of the sun. And when you bask in the glory of the sun, you should practice deep breathing exercises. And what you need to do, you want to breathe in through your nose for 5 seconds. So it's a long, slow, deliberate breath, and then you hold that breath for 7 seconds, and you take 9 seconds to breathe out through your mouth with pursed lips. In other words, you don't breathe out through your mouth with your mouth wide open. You close your mouth and you narrow the passageway in which the air is flowing through, which creates additional pressure, and you breathe it out slowly for 9 seconds. So breathe in for 5 seconds, hold it for 7 seconds, take 9 seconds to breathe it out, and this is going to fill your lungs. And when you breathe, a proper breathing means that your lower abdomen, it expands as the inspiration is air is coming in, and then it begins to, as the lung begin to expand with more air, it lifts the chest, and you hold it at that point for that 7 seconds, and then you breathe out, and then the lungs deflate. And this ensures that the lower regions, the lower lobes of the lungs, they are also filled with air. So you are now maximizing the potential of your bronchial passages and your alveoli that exist in the lungs. And so you are filling all the alveoli with air. And one of the things that we must understand, and that when the body is existing in a state of dehydration, those alveoli air sacs within the lungs, they are suffering when you are dehydrated as well. And so they, instead of being round and plump, they can crinkle, they can crumple up. And so we need to have, the lungs suffer when we are dehydrated. You will wheeze more when you are dehydrated. And I had asthma, beloved, and by God's grace I was able to get rid of that asthma through proper dietary practices and through exercise and through rehydration. And I used to wheeze all of the time when I was constantly in the hospital on the nebulizer, for the simple fact that I was always filled with mucus, because I did not like to drink water, because the body produces mucus when we are extra mucus, when we are, the body produces mucus in order to trap waste and toxins and pathogens from within itself. And when this mucus is produced, the natural reaction of the body now is to expel this mucus. And so when we are dehydrated, the body now has to go into its contingency plan of the overproduction of mucus to trap the toxins that the water should be flushing out of your body in order for you to expel. And so when you're properly hydrated, the body does not need to produce more all of that mucus because the water is doing its job. And so the side effect of dehydration on the organs, it depresses every function of every organ, and so your breathing becomes compromised, and you find that you are wheezing. Ask asthmatics if they like to drink water. Every one of them, beloved, they do not like to drink water. We do not like to drink water. And so when we drink the water, we become properly rehydrated, which enables the organ of the lungs to function properly. And so water is a natural antihistamine, beloved. And so it's a natural antihistamine. Drinking water is a natural antihistamine. And so water is of the extreme importance. And so when you do every breath that you breathe, you expire water inside of it. So if you are a teacher, if you are a public speaker, if you are some person who has to speak on a daily basis, you are breathing out water. So you are the first person that needs to be most and adequately hydrated. Come on, teachers. Come on, speakers. Come on, preachers. Come on, beloved. If you are speaking on a daily basis, you are breathing out water, so you need to be more hydrated than the average person, than the average individual. Beloved, these are the things that God created for your health. And so understand that you need to be adequately hydrated. Understand that you need to practice these deep breathing methods so that your lungs will function properly, and your bronchial passages, your alveoli sacs will be continually engorged with air, and that would increase its personal functions, that it would strengthen your lungs. Breathing is the exercise that the lungs need, and you need to practice deep breathing. So go outside in the mornings and go by the beach, which is even better because the air is filled with those negative ions that stimulate a better state of health. And so this is what you need, the deep breathing exercises. You can do this in the sun. And so we need the sun. As I had mentioned earlier, there are vitamin D receptor sites to every cell of the body. The sun itself will boost your immunity. Bathe your body in warmth. Bathe your body in vitamin D. This boosts the immunity. So pay close attention to the air quality and the air flow in your home. If the things that you bring in your home that can possibly make you sick, pay close attention to your deep breathing exercises. Deep breathing helps to expel mucus from the body. Deep breathing helps to get rid of fluid off of the lungs. Deep breathing, beloved, you can do this. And so some people who are experiencing bad colds and they have to go and use the oxygen at the hospital because they've too much fluid accumulating on the lungs, as in the case of bronchitis, pneumonia. Deep breathing helps to get rid of the mucus and the fluid off of the lungs as well. God has designed your body for you to take charge of your own health, because your health is your personal freedom. God never wanted you to be a slave, beloved. So I'm just sharing with you these pointers that you can use to take charge of your health. This is the Word of Health with Andre Knight.